Throwing Liberty is a grind and a half. Most of you guys are trying to get better gear, increase your gear score, increase your stats. In this video, I'll be letting you guys know how I got over 4,300 gear score by being completely free to play, taking a whole month break from the game, and having no alts. Is very doable for everybody watching this video. So let's jump into it and check it out. So just for the sake of it, I made sure to get exactly 4,300 gear score because, yeah, for the memes, for the memes. But we'll put my face up here so you guys guys can see the gear score right there. And like I mentioned, if you guys been following my streams and my videos, you guys know I'm completely free to play. The only thing I ever bought in this game was the early access when it first came out, but that is it. And like I said, I mentioned I took almost a month break from the game, but 4,300 gear score is very doable. And like you guys can see on my character, I don't do my T2 dungeons. I don't do my T1 dungeons. There's very little I do in this game, and I'm able to keep up and have high enough gear score. And let's talk about why. Now, the first thing first we got to take a look at is your gear. Most of you, if not all of you watching, probably already have full epic gear. That's a really good start. Making sure you have the right gear, right build. Remember, gear score is important, but your stats are more important. But in this video, we're going to be covering gear score, so we're just going to be talking straight up about gear score. The first thing you guys want to be having is you want to have full epic gear, which most of you should have, with the right traits. So you want to have full traded gear, like you guys can see here. My gear is fully traded, and that is like the number one thing to do. If you're missing epic gear, if you're missing certain pieces, you can get them by running the certain dungeons for them or to auction house, because let's be real, guys, gears are really, really cheap. Even like the expensive pieces like the Band of Universal Power or the Belt of Bloodlust, if you guys just check of blood, you get 750 lucid. It's extremely cheap. So the first thing first you guys should do is fully trade your gear and get that epic gear. Now the second thing, which is a little more struggle, especially if you're running more than 2 weapons. I'm running 3 weapons, which is the sword, great sword, and the spear. But the next thing would be to get your skills that you use to level 5. This is very difficult if you have more gear, and especially for me that took a bit of break. It is a struggle, but I'm almost full level 5. I have been getting a little bit unlucky, like for example on my omniprotens, I got, look at that, so unlucky. So I need to get 7 more Omni books to get to hit level 5. So you can get a little bit unlucky, but this should be your second main priority because this can increase your combat power, but it's super important that you can have this high level skill so you be able to do a lot of damage or have high defenses, etc. Now, how do you do this? The way you want to be doing this is 2 things. I showed this in my YouTube shorts, if you guys watched my YouTube shorts, but if you didn't, this is very important. If you have omniprotens parchments like I have here, check your bag. You probably have a bunch. Some people told me they have 1,000. I didn't even know. If you dissolve these, you actually get precious parchments, which you can use to craft active skill books and passive skill books. Is extremely important, especially if you levels are already level 5 here, a level 4 here, and I don't use this one. There's no point having the omniprotens parchments, right? So you just want to dissolve them and get them done. The second thing you want to be doing is when you guys run your daily contracts, extremely important, guys. When you guys either Perlite Tower or wherever, it's up to you where you want to do it. When you guys run these, guys, please make sure that you're prioritizing the parchment, especially if your skills are not level 5, which you guys should be going when you go to the contract manager right here. You want to be, right now I'm just going to collect some random stuff, but every time I see a parchment, I always search for a parchment. That's all I say here. I will pick this quest no matter what because I want the parchments. That way I can increase my skill level. So that's the second most important thing you guys want to be doing. Dissolve those omni parchments and only do parchment contracts, especially if your skills are not level 5. If they are level 5, then you don't need to. It's up to you. But if they're not, you should definitely only be picking parchments from the contract manager. Number 3. Now here I have been slacking. I do have another weapon, but your weapon skill level determines how high your gear score can actually get. Because once you get full epic gear, and you have level 5 skills, you kind of want to have a high weapon level. So a suggestion would be to get level 16 on your weapons. 16, only if you're using 2 weapons, it's not really hard to get, and they're kind of changing how the mastery system works in the future update. However, getting to 16 is not that hard. It should be one of the main things that you guys should focus on is your Abyss contracts. And when you guys run your Abyss contracts, it's extremely important, guys, that you stack your mastery food. You have this mastery report, which you can buy from the Battle Pass shop. If you go to your Battle Pass shop, you can buy it right here. You want to always be using a mastery report when you guys run your contracts. And not only that, right now you have the Christmas bonus, which is this cake right here. You can stack this cake that gives you 50% mastery bonus. You can stack on top of this one that gives you 30% mastery XP, and you can stack it on top of this thing, which will give you contract token efficiency and mastery bonus. So you can get triple stack and run your contracts. So make sure you guys are doing that. Use all 3 of these. This cake, or is it this cake, this food that you craft or buy in the auction house, and the mastery book. That way you'll be leveling your mastery very efficiently. And once you hit the level like 15 or 16, it starts getting very slow, but getting to level 16 is going to pump your gear score by a lot. So make sure you guys are doing it. And the second thing is also, you know, doing same with the contracts. Everywhere you can get these training dues, super important. Make sure you guys are prioritizing. Remember, whichever weapon you have out actually gains a little bit more EXP. So right now, what I want to be doing when I do these farms and whatever, I will always have my great sword ahead so I can catch up with the great sword, right? So that's why your level usually is higher on one, is whichever weapon you're actually wielding. Next up is your TDALS contracts. Yeah, if you usually get these TDALS contracts, they give a bunch of bonus, and then your solo secret dungeon every day. Remember, you should be doing this. You give 25 free training dues by just doing these every week. So make sure you guys do this. So make sure you get your dues, get your weapons up. Most of the players that are level have 4,400 gear score or 4,500 have really high mastery. Some have level 19 mastery. So make sure you guys are getting your weapon levels up. Last but not least is your rune level. Yes. My rune level right here, you guys can see I have some runes already at level 60, some are 50. If you look at my gear itself, you will see that I have level 50. This is, I always use runes, which is more important to me. I don't really care about gear score here, but my rune are really high level, right? You guys can see it on my belt right here, 58, 58, 56. So you should by now, if you are not playing super hardcore, I did take a lot of break through Christmas, and by the way, Happy New Year's. But during New Year's, I took a lot of break, didn't get to grind, but I'm back on the grind right now. So you should be at minimum around level 40 rune level. If you're not level 40 rune level, you're doing something wrong. Here's some tips on what I do to make sure that I prioritize rune farming. Every single day, like I said, I don't care about T2 contracts, I don't care about T1 contracts. I only care about doing rune farms. So what you guys want to be doing is you want to be running the T5 rune farm. At this point, if you are level 40, you should be running T5 farms. So you guys can see here, people are doing rune farms, 8-minute run farms. Always look for the easy T5 farm and just run them because you get a bunch of runes from them. That's like the first thing that you should be doing, right? The second thing that you want to be doing is once you hit level 40, you should be doing rune transmutations. You should not be dismantling them, but if you do have extra rune fragments, I talked about this before. If you go to this jewel crafter and you try to craft a rune box here, this can give you anything between green runes to blue runes to I think even gray. No, only green and blue. But once you hit level 40 in a rune and you get green rune, it's kind of a waste, right? So what you want to be doing is, if you do have rune fragments, do not use them here, because like I showed in a previous video, but I will show it again. The solent cost is 300,000 to craft this rune chest, which can give you a green rune, and the fragment cost is 120, but it's almost 300k, right? But if you go to the weapon vendor right here and you do the exact same thing, you get the exact same chest, it costs double the rune fragment, but 10 times less solent. So the other vendor it was 300k per, this is 30k. So you save 10 times the solent, but get double rune fragment. So if I were you guys, I would use this vendor if you guys have fragments to get your rune level up, especially to 40. And if you want to, after 40, you should be doing the material transportations, because these guarantee you blue runes, so you will always almost always level up. Well, you remember when you hit level 40, there's a chance to get, let's say you have a level 41 rune, like this is a good example, right? Let's say I have a level 40 buff duration rune. If I drop another buff duration once to level 40, that has a chance to also be level 40. So the grind after level 40 starts becoming steep, but these runes gives you a lot of gear score. Let me just show you guys, if you guys care about gear score. I was 4,300 gear score earlier, right? But if I put like let's do it like this, okay? Let me just put some runes just to show you guys the increase in levels. If you just put runes, you will see right now I increased my gear score just like that to 4306, right? So runes does give a lot of stats, so make sure you guys are getting them to a level 60. Now these are the most important thing that you want to be doing to increase your combat power. Again, you should focus on your attributes, but if you want to increase your combat power, because when you run around T5 dungeons, for example, right, people ask for 4,400 4,300 to join the group, so people do kind of look at your gear score at certain things, but mainly yeah, increase your rune level. Now, last but not least, I just want to cover some stuff that you can do. Remember, you can do your T1, T2 dungeons, but you shouldn't prioritize them. If you have less time, focus on your rune farm. All the extra stuff, you can run bosses now for extra rune levels. You can run these events for rune level. I don't do them personally. I do bosses, the PvP boss and stuff with my guild, but I don't do any kind of events. I don't farm any other dungeons except rune dungeons. But if you need it, get it. If you by a chance get a really good weapon, let's say you get a dentist, right, or band of universal power, right, what I highly would advise you guys to do is use the trade converter. I don't think I can show you guys right here. Do I have an extra? Look, I have extra gear, but you want to be using trade unlock stones or the conversion stones. So you buy a piece, right, and then you use the conversion stones, because just look how many you guys have, and you should only use it if it's an expensive item. Do not be wasting them, because soon we'll get 2T gear, and you should be saving them for that. But let's say here, look at this, I'll show you. I have 2,000 trade conversion stones, I have 500 unlock stones. So if I get a very expensive piece like a dentist or whatever, I would usually use the conversion stones to save the lucent. That's the only time you should be using them. So if you do drop an expensive item and you want to use it, use those. Don't go out buying, like, look at this. I think, let's see, a dentist extract, a dentist extracts. Look at this, 2K, 2K, 1.2K just for the extracts, and then probably like it will cost me like 10K just to trade it. Instead, I can just use the conversion stones and get it. But that is it for my combat power guide. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Again, I know Throne Liberty seem very grindy, and it is to some extent, especially with runes, but you don't have to do everything. Like I mentioned, I don't do everything. I do what is necessary. Right now, runes are probably the most important thing that will give you the highest increase in combat power, plus your weapon level. Running T1, T2 dungeons, all your contracts, it's not that important. I know sometimes, even me, I feel like, oh, I should be doing them. But at the end of the day, increasing the new features such like runes is very important, because soon they will introduce a new system and you need to grind something else. So if you're still just doing the old grind of T1, T2 dungeons, all this stuff, you're just going to waste your time. But hopefully this will help you guys out, increasing your combat power. Again, remember, combat power is good, but attributes and stats are more important. Let me know what do you guys do to increase your combat power and gear score in this game. Thank you guys for watching. Check out this video right here, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye-bye.